But everything this president has stood for and done in the last decade or so has been a complete rejection of what Black history is.
Can we just start with the first point that she made? And she doesn't even look confident saying it. I don't know if it's her first.
Oh my God.
Appreciate y'all in advance. Please make sure that you like. So Jemele Hill, she comes from ESPN. I'm not sure if I believe she's actually still with ESPN. She's one of these blackety blacks. She's one of the people that are fighting the good fight when it comes to Black folk. I guess it depends on what you consider the good fight. She's not my cup of tea, but just to, put that out there in advance. But I would love to hear the conversation that they're having on Trump and Black History Month, especially with all the talks coming out where Trump was getting rid of Black History Month and then it wasn't. It was the Defense Department getting rid of. Let's actually hear the clip. All right, here we go. You guys give me your thoughts.
Mentioned at the same time that there were going to be statues of Kobe Bryant and Muhammad Ali. So it just seems a little hypocritical that you would be doing everything in your power to sort of outlaw the teachings of what, say, a Muhammad Ali stood for. Like, are you going to tell people that he stood against war, that he stood against these very progressive civil rights issues? That doesn't seem to be the part of it. And what I noticed there from that clip is that he had to read letter by letter about what these people, what these great Americans have done in terms of progress for our country, because it's not something he's familiar with and not something that it's natural for him. So I consider this to be an insult, a slap in the face. And frankly, all the people that attended this, look, I guess God bless you if you've never been to the White House and maybe you looked at it as some kind of great experience. But everything this president has stood for and done in the last decade or so has been a complete rejection of what Black history is.
Can we just start with the first point that she made? And she doesn't even look confident saying it. I don't know if it's her first time more in the political landscape, but if you're familiar with her, she looks a lot more confident in other areas or other, I guess, when she's on ESPN or writing, whatever. She talked about Muhammad Ali and said, are you going to talk about what these people represented? And she mentioned that Muhammad Ali represented being against war. Is it me, or am I completely confused, or is she completely delusional as a Democrat and what the current state of democracy is? Donald Trump has been opposed to these wars. He's called out the Russia-Ukraine war. Matter of fact, he just got in trouble he made some remark, or they were saying that blaming Ukraine for starting the war, but he said that it wouldn't have even happened if he was in office. He said it never should have happened. Meanwhile, the Democrats, they were the ones pushing Zelensky, pushing this NATO. I'm not sure how familiar you are with it. NATO was never supposed to move east. Like, they were the ones pushing the agenda. They were the ones that I believe that, wasn't it the United States that helped overturn that government? Y'all know what it is. It's Dak from the OG Network. Man, I just want to thank y'all. That's right, to thank y'all for all of your tremendous support over the years, whether you've been rocking with us from the beginning or maybe this is the first show that you're checking out on the network. We want to thank you nonetheless. And we have an ask, all right? We have a goal of reaching 20,000 subscribers by the end of March. That's right, 20K by the end of March. It's not a real goal unless you put a date on it. And with that, we need your help. So we ask that if you are enjoying the content that you like, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're feeling real generous, maybe share with some friends and family. All right, I'll let y'all go. And once again, thank you for your continued support. And we look forward to growing with y'all. See y'all soon. Ew. And leverage the aid that we were going to give based on Ukraine deciding to fight against Russia, stand up or join NATO, and Zelensky was put as the president. I believe it wasn't through a democratic process. Isn't it the Democrats that are playing both sides with Israel and Palestine, where on one end they're pushing young college kids and their Democratic following to stand up with Palestine, but on the other end they're helping fund Israel and their war efforts? So I'm getting a little bit of a contradiction and hypocrisy from her, and it's not consistent. Also, if you really want to go and look at what Muhammad Ali was preaching, Muhammad Ali was not preaching anything that these Democrats stand up for as far as right now. Muhammad Ali was a black nationalist. He was a black nationalist. Let's just call it what it is. Used to hear a lot of Malcolm X speeches, same thing. Malcolm X said that the white liberals, not only the greatest threat to America, but the greatest threat to black Americans. These people just push certain things because they bank on their followers not knowing, it being too far in the past, being too lazy to look up this stuff, and being so delusional to a standpoint of like, ma'am, you don't even realize that the Democratic Party, that's the reason why Tulsi Gabbard left, the reason why a lot of people have left is because the Democratic Party has shifted. Now Trump is the one trying to stop the wars because he just wants good business. He's not a politician, and politicians rely on war for leverage, to line their pockets, to make money. We know that this happens. Trump doesn't need that. Trump has said from the beginning, out of a lot of these candidates, or the people that were running for president, Trump has been the one standing on the line as far as not wanting wars more than any of them, unless I'm confused. Unless I'm confused. So I'm a bit, when you have these Jemele Hills, these race baiters, in my opinion, that are trying to create this narrative that Donald Trump is racist, he's Hitler, he's a Nazi, they have no other talking points than to go off of, than to say these type of things. Well, did he really teach about Muhammad Ali being against war? Maybe you should look at the stuff that Muhammad Ali was teaching, because a lot of the things that Muhammad Ali was teaching in his black nationalist movement sound very similar to the things that Trump says when it comes to America first. Just substitute black first. And you got Muhammad Ali, you got Malcolm X, you got Elijah Muhammad saying very similar things, and you can throw Marcus Garvey in there as well. They were nationalists. They put their people first. That's exactly what Trump. So whether people look at it, I don't know, but this is the same old Republicans are racist, Democrats are for the people. These are the same old tired talking points. Nobody believes this stuff. Well, maybe, I don't know. I can't even say nobody, but let's just continue.
How do you square what Jemele is saying there, that this White House, this administration has spent so much time, especially in the last month, denigrating diversity as even a concept? And actually, let me just go ahead and play this because I think it's instructive to hear exactly what they have been saying. Listen.
I think the single dumbest phrase in military history is our diversity is our strength.
My son is in a public school. He takes a class called African American History. If you're running an African American history class, could you perhaps be in violation of this court order, of this executive order?
I'm not quite certain, and I'd like to look into it further and get back to you on that.
You can have DEI in water coolers and universities. I disagree with that. But lives aren't impacted with DEI at universities. It is impacted here. I just want the best and the brightest, keeping Americans safe.
Okay, so you say that, and then you throw a Black History Month event, and people are supposed to then say, well, it all doesn't matter. He really does care about the history of this country, which includes people. It's Black History Month today and this month, but it could be Hispanic History Month, Women's History Month, all these diverse people.
Absolutely.
Yo, this is insane. This is insane. And let me remind everybody that a lot of intelligent people think this way. To me, it's insane that they are pushing this. All right, so playing football. And I'm not at all relating football to war. Playing football. You know when you don't care about, well, we need a little bit more black people in this room. Wait, we need a couple more white people. Wait, we need a couple more women in here. You know when you don't care about prioritizing diversity, is when you prioritize trying to win. When you go into an NFL, or used to be, now there's more black offensive linemen, but when I went into the college offensive lineman room or in an NFL room, and there's mostly white guys that are on the offensive line, and then you go into a D-line room and it's mostly black guys. Not once did I ever say, oh my God, we got to mix this thing up a little bit. No, if the white guy, if that's the best player, especially if I'm playing running back, I want the best player. I don't care. I don't prioritize, well, we got to expand the pool to maybe get some other. No, who are the best guys at this position? You got the white cornerback right on the Philadelphia Eagles who had the touchdown, I believe he plays corner, maybe safety. It's like them saying, oh, we need some more white cornerbacks. It's when it's life or death. I'm only comparing it to football. That's my experience. But do you think that people who are risking their lives, who are in the line of battle or the line of fire in battle, do you think they care about what color of the skin, or if this person, do we have enough disabled people? Do we have enough women? Do we have enough gay guys? Do we have enough? Do you think they care about that, or do they care about give me the best person by my side who's going to allow me to make it home to my family in 3 months when I'm going back to America? Why would you prioritize anything other than merit? Why, if you're deciding, if you're getting ready to go to war, and see, this is the problem. This is why most Americans, let's just be honest, I'm one of them. Growing up, you don't put yourselves in the shoes of people that are actually in battle. We don't. We do not. We are lying if we say that we put ourselves in the shoes of people that are actually going to war. We sit back in the comfort, disengaged. You know, we root for it like we're watching a football game. That's about as close as we get as far as putting ourselves in the shoes of somebody wearing cleats on the football field on Sunday, which is watching a game while you kick your feet up and eat burgers and drink beer. That's about as close as Americans can get to putting themselves in the shoes of somebody that's actually in battle. Do you think that it should be at all equality of saying, hey, you know, we got to diversify, we got to have this amount of people, no, we're not pushing for diversity. We're pushing for excellence. That's the standard. And whoever can match that standard, anybody's open to try. But whoever can reach this standard of excellence, that's who we're rocking with. Why is that so hard to understand? And why are they trying to conflate the fact that Trump and his administration with Pete Hegseth running the military, why are they trying to conflate that with the fact that, well, Trump shouldn't be holding a Black History Month celebration because he decided to not involve DEI in selecting who's going to fight in our military? Does that make any sense to people? Let me make sure I catch up with the comments. My apologies. Make sure that y'all like. Please make sure that y'all like. So we had a couple comments. Wayne Norman Esquire, the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. All right. We can elaborate on that a little bit later. Tell me what made you write that? I'm just wondering. Is it because that I said the Malcolm X quote? I'm just wondering what made you say that particular quote. Wayne, please. I would love for you to elaborate on that. Best thing I heard all year, stuffing her pockets with money to lie, and no hand pink waving face, purple crying. They're Judas. All right. Happy Monday. I enjoy the show. Please like and subscribe. Yes, Mama Lay said, please like and subscribe. Please tap in. 57K off rip. Great morning, great people. Uncle Brother wrote, Ali was opposed to fighting in the Vietnam War for religious reasons. He sacrificed his belt and served time in jail standing on his principles. He stated he had no beef with the yellow man. That is a fact. But and unless I'm confused, I haven't heard Donald Trump pushing for war. Unless I'm confused. Matter of fact, don't people get mad at Donald Trump for being quote unquote friendly with a lot of the countries that we may have issues with? Oh, he's too friendly with our enemies and their leadership. Well, what do you want him to? Would you prefer a Donald Trump personality? Because think about it. They say he's too friendly with these people. But then while he was running, they were saying, oh, I'd be scared if Donald Trump has access to that nuclear button because he could just get upset with one of these leaders and just. So it's you guys don't even realize how much you contradict yourself. The water's hot if you need it to be hot in order to prove whatever point that you're trying to prove, or it's cold if you wanted to prove that point. Meanwhile, the water's just been sitting at room temperature the whole time. That is how these people behave when it comes to these topics. It's so everybody, and then it's, well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going to the convo. Let's see exactly what else they have to say on this one.
This country, which includes people, it's Black History Month today and this month, but it could be Hispanic History Month, Women's History Month, all these diverse people.
Absolutely.
What are Americans supposed to think?
I mean, look, President Trump is not a traditional politician. I mean, he never has been, he never will be. So today when we saw the celebration in the White House, I thought that was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was a packed house there. I mean, Tiger Woods, I can go on and on of all the people that were there. He made it very clear today, Abby. He said, Black Americans are legends. I'm going to put some statues up. Kobe Bryant.
But he's governing in exactly the opposite way.
I think what he's trying to do is on.
Can somebody please tell me how Donald Trump is governing in exactly the opposite way? Can somebody tell me? I'm sure we got some liberals checking in over here, some Democrats. Please tell me, educate me on how Donald Trump, what am I missing? What am I missing here? So because somebody does not want to factor in the color of your skin, and anything or all this other stuff that's your sexual preference, who you like having sex with, who you identify, because he does not want to factor those things in getting the best of the best to defend our country. Now he doesn't stand for being able to celebrate Black History Month. And what's so funny is all of these Black people, Donald Trump was Black people's favorite white boy. Donald Trump used to be Black people's favorite white boy. Go back and look at Donald Trump on The View. Go back and look at all of these Black folk when they got rich and made it and had some level of success. They all wanted to hang out with Donald Trump. He went from your favorite white boy to now the biggest racist and Hitler and Nazi. And what's so funny is I don't think Donald Trump has changed. I mean, I think we all would agree that, and this is another one of those hot, cold type of things. Donald Trump can't change, right? He just is who he is. Okay, so if he hasn't changed, then why was he Black people's favorite white boy 20, 30, 40 years ago? And now he's just the biggest Nazi and the biggest white supremacist now. I'm just wondering. Carl wrote, have you looked at oh my God. Hey, yo, Carl, come on, bro. I can't read that, man. I can't read that. I'll throw it on the screen. Oh, man. Can I read it? I can read it. Have you looked at it? All right, so Carl wrote, oh, Carl. Oh. I can't. Well, I put up a video yesterday that was offensive to certain people, could have been, so I gotta at least put that up. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
One end, he knows he's got a huge deficit. He's trying to make cuts and move the business, this big government forward.
I'm not talking about the cuts. I'm talking about the denigration of people based on this idea of DEI. They tried to blame a plane crash on diversity.
Yeah, I don't actually agree with that, to be very sincere with you. I think he looks at DEI more of a,
We just got another example. Dwayne Lynch, come on down. Dwayne Lynch. Somebody look up Dwayne Lynch on LinkedIn. Matter of fact, let's take a look at Dwayne Lynch. Let's see if Dwayne is on LinkedIn. Let's see if Dwayne is on LinkedIn. I like to know who's offending me or who's calling me an idiot. I like to know who. I like to know who. But this is just another example. I'm not feeding into, trust me, I'm not, it's all good. There's Dwayne Lynch's all over the place. But I think that, nope, he's not found on. All right. Didn't find Dwayne Lynch. All right. So Dwayne, let me address you. Dwayne Lynch said that I'm an uneducated idiot. Isn't this an example of what we just put up a video of, I believe the other day, where we were talking about how as a black man, when you disagreed with conservatives, let's say in my past when I used to vote Democrat, and I would have a conversation with conservatives and we would have debates on different issues, whether it's the economy, whether it's cultural issues, racism, all these different things, Black Lives Matter, whatever. They would never call me an uneducated idiot. And what did I just tell y'all the other day at lunch that my attorney friend called me when he did not know that I voted for Trump? He called me an idiot. We are starting to see, or it should already be plain for us, is that the very thing that a lot of these Democrats, these liberals, they say that they hate about Trump, they are those exact same things. They are those exact same things. I'm an uneducated idiot because I disagree. I don't know a lot of people in my life that speak to me for longer than 5 minutes and they come away with the conclusion that I'm an uneducated idiot. I don't think so. I'm just being honest. Cool. If I am, then I am. If I'm wrong in certain areas, I may be wrong. I may miss on certain things here and there. But why is this man calling me an uneducated idiot just because I have a difference of opinion clearly than him? But Donald Trump, he's the asshole, right? Donald Trump, I don't like the way he does stuff. I don't like the way he talks to people. But Democrats feel that because they're standing on this higher ground of, well, I know better than you, so therefore it's okay for me to talk down on you, but I will never allow Donald Trump to talk down on us. This is what we're seeing. The ignorance. They don't even realize that they're doing a disservice to themselves. And this is what happens across the board with the Democratic Party. This is no different than a Jasmine Crockett. Dwayne Lynch is probably led by one of these strong black women that are on TV, the Ayanna Presleys, the Joy Reids. That's who Dwayne Lynch, the type of person that Dwayne Lynch, that's who he looks up to. He calls me an uneducated idiot. That's the type of person that Dwayne Lynch is. So I just want people to understand that, especially when it comes to these Democrats, when we have these conversations about just differences of opinions, differences of perspectives, this exactly what the people that you're voting for, mom and dad, they're Dwayne Lynches. The people that you're voting with, mom and dad, are Dwayne Lynches. The people that call your son an idiot, an uneducated idiot. You sent me to some of the best schools in America. And now this guy's calling your son an uneducated idiot and you're going to vote with him. These people are not on your team. They're not on your side. But for whatever reason, because the Democratic leadership has done a great job over the years of convincing us that Republicans are racist and Trump's just the next one, we excuse everything else, we overlook everything else, and we vote next to a guy like Dwayne Lynch. Dwayne Lynch, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you do better, brother. I hope next time you can come with, maybe if you disagree with something I said, just tell us what you disagreed with. All right, let's get back to the video.
let's put that aside and let's do everything on merit. He's made it very clear. He's talked about merit all along. So I really think, Abby, that what happened today was a beautiful thing.
So
Yeah, I
what-
don't.
so
I
what do
think
you-
I think he's
don't?
trying to gaslight us.
In
I
what
mean, come
way,
on,
Solomon?
man. You have got to be kidding.
So if he
He's
didn't have it, if he didn't have it today, you
he's-
would be
he's
back in
trying,
it.
Honestly, I
he's
would
trying
prefer
to
that he
gaslight us.
You can't
He,
say
first,
that.
he
Yes, I
said
would.
he doesn't want anybody in government to celebrate Black
You've got to be kidding.
History Month, and then he says, "Okay, I'm going to put on an event about."
When can somebody tell me when Donald Trump said that he doesn't want anybody in government to celebrate Black History Month? Did Donald Trump ever say that? Because I know that that was floating around all these places. But right after it was floating around, that's when Donald Trump came out and his press secretary said it as well. Like, no, the president is going to sign Black History Month, just like the previous presidents. So, and this guy comes in with a super sassiness. Are you kidding me? Talking about Donald Trump has been telling other people not to celebrate Black history. That to my understanding, that's not true. Now, I may be wrong, but to my understanding, that's not true.
About Black History Month, and I'm going to be the speaker. There aren't any Black people, really saying anything about what's happening with him. He tried to use DEI as literally a racial slur against us, as if Black people are benefiting from anything in this country and getting anything we're not quite.
He tried to use DEI as a racial slur against Black people. We've put on this show plenty of times that Black people don't even benefit in the top 6 of the people that benefit from DEI. It's white women, it's gay white men, it's people with disabilities, there's a whole bunch of other categories of people that benefit before Black people, but now they're trying to directly connect DEI to Black people. When did Donald Trump come out and say, I don't like DEI because of Black people and relate it to Black people? This doesn't even this is what I'm talking about, hustling backwards. These Negroes get on TV and passionately fight against things that are not even helping you. They're not even helping you. And then you have this aggressive energy. Let me ask y'all this. Imagine if all of these Democrats, let's kind of take a step back here. Whether it's the pundits on TV, whether it's the Jasmine Crockett's, the Ayanna Presleys, the AOCs, the Hakeem Jeffries, across the board, the energy that they show fighting against Donald Trump and getting us and trying to get us or trying to convince us that to believe that Donald Trump is a racist, a white supremacist, Hitler, Nazi, all this other stuff. If they use that same energy to push the initiatives that they're talking about now, to push Joe Biden, that they would have used to push Barack Obama when they had control. Imagine if they used that same fire and energy to just push the people that are on their team to get the things done that they want prioritized. Imagine if Ayanna Pressley pressed Joe Biden on reparations, how now she's, we're putting that legislation back on the table. Why would you take it off the table when you actually have power? And it's because they do not have any intentions of doing any of this stuff. They just want to use it to try to highlight Trump as racist. How does that make any sense? You guys don't even hold the people on your own team accountable to get the things done that you think are important to your community. But now when somebody else is in power, you think that you're going to rally your community to now force Donald Trump to do the things that you guys didn't even have the courage to have Joe Biden do? It makes no sense to me.
Qualified for and don't have to work twice as hard for. Black people have to live in the real world. When the cops come, we're scared because we might not come out of it alive.
When the cops come, we're scared. And he started off talking about gaslighting. He started off the show like how? Look, man, when the cops pull me over, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm good. Matter of fact, the only time I've had bad experiences were with Black officers, being totally honest with y'all. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. Now, is that everybody's experience? No. But why do y'all keep trying to push this narrative? And matter of fact, I could show you better than I could tell you. It just so happens that I had this video. It just so happens that I had this video. I promise y'all, I was not intending to play this. This is the type of video that happens. Something happens with this. You got a white police officer and a black woman, right? And we had the gentleman earlier say that black women are the least protected, right? The least protected. So you tell me if this officer's doing a good job of protecting the livelihood of this black woman instead of reacting how maybe we would expect somebody to react based on what this gentleman just said. Let's take a look at this video.
The reason I stopped you today is because your tag, your license plate has been expired since 2013. When I run it, it shows to have been got suspended in 2014. That's the reason for the stop.
My question was, what's your emergency? Do you have an emergency? Is there a articulable cause for concern? Why did you pull me over if there's no emergency?
That's why. It's your suspended license plate.
So you don't have an emergency? I would love to help you if you have an emergency.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry?
I would love to help you if you have an emergency, sir.
Yes, ma'am. It's a traffic stop. It's not an emergency. Do you have a driver's license with you?
Well, are you making any assumptions or presumptions here today?
I can't hear you still.
Are you making any assumptions or presumptions here today?
Ma'am, I just need to see your driver's license.
Yo, this got to be a skit. This has to be fake. Now that I'm looking at it, this got to be fake. This has to be fake.
Well,
I'm gonna keep playing it though.
Under the assumption that I drive.
Am I what?
You're under the assumption that I drive.
Okay. Do you have a driver's
What's your
license?
articulable reason for stopping me?
Okay. Do you have a driver's license with you today or an ID? Any form of identification?
I don't drive, I travel, sir.
All right, I'm not playing any more of that. I feel like I just thought it was funny. And let me, all right, so let's get back to this video. But what is funny is that people will see something like that. People will see something like that, and that triggers something in them where it's like, yeah, black people are just scared to get pulled over every time. Like, yeah, you have to take some precautions that maybe other people don't have to. But let's be real, why? The same reason why. Let me not go there. I was going to go somewhere. Let me catch up with the comments. Just saved y'all from a tangent. Ebony wrote, Fox is back to their sneaky rhetoric. They keep equating DEI to skin color and don't acknowledge whites and Hispanics as the main beneficiaries. Ebony, I've never seen any station acknowledge. I definitely have not seen MSNBC or CNN or any of these stations. I have never seen any mainstream stations acknowledge that DEI helps white women more than it actually helps black people. I would especially be surprised if I heard MSNBC or ABC or CNN say that. I would be pleasantly surprised because I feel like that's intentionally hidden. I feel like Fox should say it. If I was Fox, I would come out and say like, yo, y'all fighting for this stuff and this don't even help. It's just helping the white women and disabled people and gay people more than it's helping y'all, and y'all fighting for it. So I see it from a little bit of a different perspective on that one. Ebony wrote, why didn't Trump post about the Black History event at the White House or any part of his speech? I didn't think he wanted to upset the racist. I don't know. Like I'll be totally honest. I've never even looked at like Trump's Twitter or whether or not, I've just never looked at that. I never looked at that. And now hold on, I just got a text from Mama Lay saying, did I address Uncle Brother's comment? Uncle Brother, I addressed your comment unless I missed a comment as far as with Ali in Vietnam. Did I miss a comment? I may have missed one. Let me know if I missed one. Copy and paste it if you can again. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it wasn't important to him. I don't know. And maybe I'm a little bit insensitive because I don't care about Black History Month. I can't stand Black History Month, to be totally honest. Just me. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's corny. It's watered down. It's BS. It's a bunch of things that for a bunch of different reasons that I don't like it, but I don't like, that's not what I'm like prioritizing, whether or not my president posted about Black History Month. Like I really don't care. Maybe I should care. I'm being honest. Maybe I should care, but I do not, like, at all. I do not at all. I've never cared whether, I don't know if Biden ever posted on his Twitter about, or Biden even has a Twitter, or Kamala. I never looked at, like, I don't care what they put about Black History Month. I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, any of them. Like, yeah, just my standpoint, but I may be completely wrong. I may be completely wrong. Oh, you said Abby and Joy mentioned it? So hold up. If Abby and Joy mentioned it, I'm pleasantly surprised by that. I'm still confused as to why it doesn't come up in conversations like this. If Abby and Joy are well aware that DEI helps white women and actually helps Black people just down the line, why would they continue to push these narratives? I'm just wondering. And why would people who watch these television shows where Abby and Joy are on, why would they, like, why would you not, like, a light bulb not go off of, and maybe the reason why a light bulb doesn't go off is because Black people are so used to fighting everybody's battle. Black people got to fight the LGBTQ battle. Black people got to fight the feminist battle. Black people got to fight every single battle other than Black people's battle. The only time Black people fight the Black battle is when you want to prove that the president in office is not aligned with you and is a racist. So that's when you're going to start pushing the Black rhetoric. That's when you're going to start, well, I didn't like how Donald Trump celebrated Black History Month. I didn't like what Donald Trump, I think Donald Trump should give us reparations. Yeah, well, you didn't think that your homeboy Biden and Barack Obama, brothers, remember, he want to have conversations talking about brothers. Well, Barack, brother, did you do anything when it comes to pushing a lot of these Black agendas and this Black legislation that Abby and Joy and Jasmine Crockett and Ayanna Pressley are pushing now? Did you do anything to advance those? No, you advanced the LGBTQ community. So so whether somebody does it Black, like, yeah, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Hold on. Ant said hot take. And Eb said she's been peeping. Hot take. The Democratic agenda started to come into effect in 2008. Media propaganda that pushed for liberal views such as Glee TV having to do with promoting agendas like homosexuality soon after. The Democratic agenda started to come into effect in 2008. Media propaganda that pushes for liberal views such as Glee TV having to do with, and how is that a hot take, bro? We just had a whole segment on that. I don't think that's a hot take. We just had a whole, Dr. Umar just called out Barack Obama for exactly just that. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that you're perfect. I think that what you're saying is very true. To the point where I'm saying I don't even think it's necessarily a hot take. I don't think a lot of people would disagree with that. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people disagreeing with that. Let's keep going with the video.
We walk into a store, if they let us in, we're followed around.
If they let us in, hold on, what year am I living in, man? We walk into a store if they let us in. And you know what we've shown in the past? The stores that don't let us in, let us in. We deserve to shop here. We want to shop here. We don't want to shop at our own businesses that let us in, that actually want to sell products to us. No, we want to go to the places that are not letting us in. Let us in. Let us spend our money. Let us give you our money.
From anything in this country, and getting anything we're not qualified for and don't have to work twice as hard for. Black people have to live in the real world.
Yo, this twice as hard thing, I'm thinking about the people in my life that I'm closest to. I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see what people are talking about. I'm being totally honest. Maybe that's true. And maybe that's the experience of, I mean, y'all tell me y'all experience. Is your experience that you have to work twice as hard because you're Black? I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, is that your experience? I don't know.
When the cops come, we're scared because we might not come out of it alive. We walk into a store, if they let us in, we're followed around. We don't get loans when we have the same credit score as everybody else because we're black.
We don't get loans because we have the same credit score because we're black. You know what I looked up earlier today? I kept seeing this study, and I need to actually do a little bit more of a deep dive on it. But I think I took a couple screenshots of what I saw so far. And there was a study done by a gentleman by the name of Harold Black, M. Carey Collins, and Ken B. Siree. And it was done in 1997. And they studied black banks compared to white banks as far as which one you're more likely to get denied a mortgage at. Now, this study, like I said, I got to look into the study a little bit more. But this study came out determining that black applicants are more likely to be denied mortgages at black-owned banks than at white-owned banks. Now, that blanket statement doesn't give the details and doesn't paint, as much of a story as I would need to kind of have a full understanding. Like, I don't know what factors went into it, but if this is true, what do we say? Do we acknowledge the issue and say, all right, we got to figure this one out? Or do we just say, well, that's because of slavery, and slavery was connected to this, and that became this, and that became... I don't know. Let's keep going.
We have to live in the real world. You can't gaslight us. We know reality when we see it. This is not real. This is a joke. That's what that is.
All right, hold on.
Tiger Woods was
So Douglas, shout out to Douglas Wilhite. Shout out to Douglas Wilhite in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. You got to work 10 times as hard. That's how I was brought up. We got to be 10 times better. Emily, commercial printing press operator. So you're saying that you're a printing press operator, but you have to work 10 times as hard in order to get your job or to thrive in your job, you're saying? Does anybody else? I would love to hear other people's experiences. Because the people that are closest to me, family and friends, I unless I'm maybe just a little bit detached and missing something, whether it's my best, I'm looking at my best friends and the jobs that they've gotten. I'm thinking about my parents. I'm thinking about a whole bunch of things, and like working twice as hard, or 10 times as hard. Now it's 10 times. At first it was twice as hard. I'm just asking. I don't know. Ebony wrote, you should pay attention. He himself may not be as bad, but don't get too comfortable because he's trusting people who don't give a F about the average person and don't necessarily care to unite the country. Eb, welcome to America. like that's every president. What you just described is every president. Matter of fact, who people should have paid more attention to was Barack Obama, because we're going to pay attention to Trump. Black people are going to pay attention to what Trump does. So I will not have a shortage of pay attention to Trump energy in my life. But what we did not pay attention to was when Barack Obama was in office. What we did not pay attention to was when Joe Biden was in office. Because I've asked people on a consistent basis, what did Barack Obama, what did Joe Biden do for black people that you're proud to talk about in this discussion when we're having a conversation? And nobody can tell me anything. It's always, oh, well, I can't name anything off the top of my head. I'm like, all right, well, okay. People are going to pay attention. People are paying attention to Donald Trump. This is what we're seeing. When you have a group of politicians like Ayanna Pressley who are now saying, like, this should be a slap in the face to Democrats, because this is what happens in their primaries. When it was Kamala going against Bernie, going against Biden, when it was all them on stage and they were all talking about reparations, and the only person on that stage that called Kamala Harris out for being a hypocrite was Tulsi Gabbard, who's actually a part of the Trump administration right now. The only person on stage that called her out when all of them talking about this, talking about, oh, I was getting bused to school, when she was trying to play the black card, and they were talking about reparations, and they asked Kamala Harris about reparations. Kamala Harris said, I would never do anything specifically for black people. They asked Bernie Sanders about reparations. Bernie Sanders was against reparations, but all the black folk loved him, right? So what I'm asking is, why didn't we pay attention then? Why didn't we pay attention then? We have all been indoctrinated and manipulated to live as critical race theorists in this country. And you may say that there's nothing wrong with that. Critical race theory, seeing race first in anything. You walk into a room, first thing you notice is race. Cool. That's maybe perfectly fine. But what it has done is it has allowed us to be bamboozled and to only see things through race and to prioritize things with that. So therefore we get emotionalized, get upset with certain things, get gaslit like this gentleman was talking about. We are the ones that get gaslit based on our race to the point where we're having full out conversations about, well, I didn't really like, Donald Trump's, the way he celebrated Black History Month. I didn't really like that. Like, what? Like, do y'all kind of, is what I'm saying making sense? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. Carl wrote, this is a Christian nationalist movement. All right. What's happening right now, Carl? Okay. All right. Go ahead, Carl. Ebony wrote, yeah, I didn't want that Kamala direction, but people can't think Trump is okay to do anything he wants or everything he does is perfectly acceptable. Don't I have something on here today? Hold on. I think I had something on here that was supposed to be, all right. Matter of fact, hold on. And Ebony, to your point, I think I had something on the list today where I was calling Trump out for something. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I had something. Oh yeah. I had why a lot of I have a video to show y'all about why a lot of black people are not considered Native Americans. It's a Twitter video that I'm going to show later on. And it was an example of me disagreeing with Trump. Oh my God. Where he was calling a lot of black people, he was saying a lot of Native Americans, well, they don't look like Native Americans because they look like black people. And I remember it because it was actually my mother's Native American tribe that he was talking about. So I had something in here where I'm talking about Donald Trump. So be careful. But also, I think it's funny that you say that because I have another video. Oh man, shoot. Oh, I had another video that I wanted to show y'all on. All right, let's get through this and then I'll play that other video.
Speaking at the podium today.
Tiger Woods said he's Kablasian.
Right. I thought he would be there for the compilation.
Come on, man.
History Month.
One of the things also, apparently the Defense Department's getting ready to make some cuts. We talked about it earlier. One of the cuts rumored to be happening is of CQ Brown, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, shockingly, a black man. This is not surprising to me because I know the conversation in MAGA world about that. But the idea that maybe one of the first acts of the new defense secretary would be to ask the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who is a black man who a Republican senator just today said has done a very good job and he would be surprised to hear if he were eliminated in some of these cuts. Kevin Kramer said a month ago that he knows CQ Brown pretty well. They've had disagreements, but he thinks he's doing a great job. Why would this even be a conversation?
Well, I think Texas has sort of changed his tune on it a bit, and they seem to be working together in the early.
All right. I want to pivot very quickly. I want to pivot to this story that I wasn't even going to show. I actually showed it yesterday, but I think it's appropriate to show today because I don't think a lot of people saw it. I want to play this again. I want to play this again. And I played it yesterday, but I want to play it again. Both sides. Let's just play the video.
They sentenced me.
So Donald Trump just pardoned a black woman, a real black woman.
I went to prison in 1996. They sentenced me to life plus 25 years as a first-time nonviolent offender.
And then he turned around and said, you're now in charge of who gets pardoned.
Alice Johnson. She spent 22 years in prison, 22 years. She had another 22 years left. Can you believe it? You've been an inspiration to people. And we're going to be listening to your recommendation on pardons. You're going to go over and she's going to be my pardon czar, okay? And you're going to find people just like you that should not have happened.
So you mean to tell me a person that's been mistreated by the justice system, really mistreated by the justice system, now gets to go look at other people who possibly have been mistreated by the same justice system and recommend them for pardons?
I just wanted to show that again. I just wanted to show that again because I didn't think a lot of people saw it last night. All right, let me make sure that I catch up with the comments. Eb said, I was too young and didn't understand with Obama. What I would suggest is asking your parents. I was too young and didn't understand either with Obama. And I have those conversations with my parents. And actually, I'd say that Obama's second term, so by the time Obama did his last speech, which was clearly his second term, his last speech, I was turned off by Obama. I can remember being downstairs at my parents' house and yelling upstairs like, yo, do you hear what he's saying? Do you hear this? Where he's taking no accountability and instead just had a speech talking about telling black people, well, you should be aware of the Irish American struggle. You should be aware of this. And I'm like, okay, cool. But your entire campaign was based on running solely for black and hope and reinstilling hope in black people. And now now the end of this speech is, well, we've made some changes, but black people, y'all need to change some stuff on your own. And you ain't the only one struggling. Go look at Barack Obama's last speech as president, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And that's when I started questioning stuff, or that was around the time, maybe a year or two before that, where I'm like, yo, all right, Barack said he was going to do all this stuff. Okay, I gave him the benefit of doubt. He didn't do it in his first term because he has to get elected in the second term. So we gave him the pass, saying, you know, well, most people don't really do much in their first term, so therefore they got to do it in their second term. And then it was still crickets. Eartha, shout out to Eartha Rises. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. The Democratic Party chose Biden and Harris, not the voters during primary. I agree. Matter of fact, even when Biden was running, yeah, you're right, because that's when Bernie Sanders was beating Biden. Bernie Sanders was beating Biden. He had won the first two, I think it's called the caucuses. I forget exactly what they're called. But I think if I'm remembering correctly, I know Bernie won the first two of something. And what they did was they said, oh, nah, we can't have Bernie. So the rest of the people running, they colluded. Or I don't know if colluded is the right word, because that doesn't collusion mean that there's something illegal or something like that. Well, whatever. They came together and said, hey, we're going to work together. And they decided to all join forces against Bernie. Even though the people, we were voting for Bernie. Think about this, the party of democracy. The people were voting for Bernie. And you know what the politicians did? They decided to get together. They colluded. Let me make sure colluded. Let me look this up. Hold on. Y'all don't look up words when y'all collude. Does collude have any? Does it have to be illegal? Cooperate in a secret or unlawful way. All right, so it wasn't unlawful, so I can't say collude. That's why you got to look words up. Can I say conspired? No, you can't say conspired. They came together and said, you know what? Forget what the American people, forget not even the American people, forget what the Democrats, because remember, in a primary, only Democrats can vote. So they said, forget what our voters, the people that we're supposed to work for, right? Democracy, the government's supposed to work for us. So forget what our party thinks. We're smarter than them. We're going to decide to come together and push Joe Biden instead of Bernie, even though they're voting for Bernie. That's what happened. Trump shows how much can actually get done with executive orders. The Democratic Party has been leading us all along. We should have a crime bill. We should have had a crime bill. Okay, interesting. I'm with you on it. I'm definitely with you on it. Let me hold on one second. I'm with you on it. All right. Let's move on to the next topic. What time is it? It's 9:14. That's when I knew I had to be done with the Democratic Party. Yeah, they're ridiculous. They are literally they are ridiculous. All right, let's move on. I know we've been talking a bit. I'm gonna have to change this up a little bit. Ew, it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.